Was Tony the Tiger created to bring smiles to breakfast, or just to poison kids with sugar? Today, we're talking about one of the biggest legends of breakfast, Tony the Tiger. You know him from Frosted Flakes, but very few know his real story and all the challenges he's faced.
Let me know when you're ready.
Supercharged Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal.
In this video, we'll dive deep into Tony's journey from the state of Kellogg's before his creation to the wild story of how he was developed and his initial reception to the public when he first came out. And we'll also even go into some controversies that he's still facing today, which is forcing pressure on his retirement. And stick around to the end because I'll share 5 surprising facts about Tony that no one knows. So to begin the story, let's rewind to the past. It's the early 1950s. World War II recently ended and the US is in the midst of an economic boom, and American families are moving to suburban neighborhoods. As families settle to a new era of prosperity, the breakfast table becomes a battleground for cereal companies like Kellogg's, Post, and General Mills, who were competing to win over kids and parents. Kellogg's needed to step up their game and dominate the market with a new cereal. But not only that, they needed a cereal character that would leave a lasting impression, something that would grab kids' attention and beg their parents to buy it. And this becomes the early origins of how Tony the Tiger would be created. But Tony wasn't even the first choice for Kellogg's. He was almost replaced to be another animal to be the face of Frosted Flakes. Stay tuned to see how this story unraveled. In 1951, the company developed their first version of Sugar Frosted Flakes, as it was called back then. As they finished the formulation for the cereal, they began their work to develop a character. They hired the marketing agency Leo Burnett, who was famous for creating other ad mascots like Jolly Green Giant, the Pillsbury Doughboy, and the Marlboro Man. And Kellogg's hoped that they can hit another home run for the new cereal. As the agency and Kellogg's worked together to brainstorm a character, they had 4 possible contenders: Elmo the Elephant, Katie the Kangaroo, Newt the Newt, and Tony the Tiger. They actually tested Tony the Tiger and Katie Kangaroo with commercials, and you'll see in this video an old commercial of Katie Kangaroo.
Frosted Flakes, Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes.
But it was ultimately Tony who won the top choice as the mascot, and they decided to move forward with him. But a character is only as strong as its voice, and for that, Kellogg's and the Leo Burnett advertising agency began their search for a voice actor. They knew they needed a voice that would be strong, friendly, and unforgettable. They auditioned several voice actors, and eventually they came in contact with Thurl Ravenscroft. Ravenscroft was already well known for his work with Disney, lending his voice to films like Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland. His deep, warm voice embodied everything Tony was meant to be: strong, yet approachable, energetic, yet sincere. When Ravenscroft belted out the line, everyone knew they found the perfect match, and he was hired to be the voice of Tony the Tiger. So now that Tony was all propped up, he was ready to make his debut. But then over the decades, more changes would be made to Tony because of a key marketing strategy. We'll get into that in a minute, but first, let's see how the public reacted to Tony's initial debut. In 1952, Sugar Frosted Flakes hit the shelves, and Tony was front and center. And right out of the gate, Tony became a hit. His energetic personality and his signature catchphrase immediately resonated with kids. Parents loved Tony as well, because unlike some other cartoonish mascots, Tony felt like a role model. He was playful but positive, and his cheerful personality made him feel more like a friendly coach than a silly cartoon character.
Sugar Frosted Flakes are... they're good.
Sometimes I think he's fighting me.
Hey boy, watch that.
Boy, better let the man do the talking.
Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes. Tony knows they're great. Great big flakes of corn sparkling with a secret sugar frosting. With milk or right out of the box. They'll put a tiger on your team.
Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes. They're great. Great.
You also get Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes in the handy Kellogg Snack Pack. 2 each of your favorite ready-sweetened cereal.
It wasn't long before Tony was a household name, and Frosted Flakes became one of Kellogg's most successful products. Tony took the world by storm, but that also came with some serious controversies that actually led to him being banned in some countries. We'll get more into that in a minute, but first let's talk about how he evolved over the decades. As Tony's popularity grew, so did his appearance. In the early years, Tony had a leaner look, but by the late 1960s, he began to change. Part of this evolution was driven by a shift in Kellogg's marketing strategy. They wanted Tony to appeal to a broader audience, not just kids anymore, but also teenagers and adults. So he became more muscular and athletic, and in the commercials, he wasn't promoting a breakfast, he was promoting a lifestyle of health and fitness. Whether it was baseball, basketball, or any other sport, Tony was all about inspiring kids and adults to get active and have fun. Frosted Flakes was more than a sugary treat. It was marketed as a fuel for greatness. Here are 3 Tony the Tiger commercials that you have to see.
Now, class, Mr. Tiger will show us how Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes cereal starts out.
Is the flake real?
It's a cornfield. Kellogg's toast corn to golden flakes and adds a secret frosting. Helps keep them extra crunchy and delicious. It's part of your good breakfast and tastes.
I know, great!
Go with Tony the Tiger and get what it takes to start every morning. Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes. Those great flakes from Kellogg's have a secret you know. Toasted in frosting for the cat on the go. Go with Tony the Tiger. Be strong and be fast. Get where you're going and don't get there last. Kellogg's puts more in your morning. More fun. Go, Tiger. And you.
But now let's get into the controversies that almost led to Tony's extinction. In the 2000s, things got a little tough for Tony. As childhood obesity began to rise, sugary cereals like Frosted Flakes became a big target. Critics were like, wait a second, isn't this the guy telling kids to be active, but he's promoting a cereal that's like 50% sugar? Not exactly a balanced breakfast. So Kellogg's had to do some damage control. They began to reformulate their cereals, reducing sugar and adding more vitamins, whatever that means. But that wasn't enough for everyone. Several countries like Chile, Peru, Argentina, and Mexico have actually banned Tony from their advertising due to his sneaky ways of targeting children. And other places like the UK and Canada are considering a similar move. But is Tony going to be banned in the US? As of now, there's no plans, but who knows if that will change. Another controversy to share is when Tony the Tiger launched a Twitter account in 2016, it aimed to share motivational content and promote healthy lifestyles from Tony's perspective. Sounds like a good, non-controversial idea, right? Wrong. When the account opened, Tony received an overwhelming amount of inappropriate messages. Like, really inappropriate. Like, sexual harassment type of comments. That's all I'm going to say about that. And if you want to learn more, you can research Tony's Twitter account online and you'll find that information. But after all that happened, his Twitter account got deleted. And this is why we can't have nice things on the internet, because the internet is sick. And don't you dare leave those comments here. Despite all the challenges and controversies, Tony the Tiger is still standing strong. In the US, Frosted Flakes remains one of Kellogg's top selling cereals. And Tony's image continues to be used for branding and adapting to modern marketing now with his own TikTok dances. All right, so I saved the best for last. There's so much information about Tony, and I can't fit it all in this video, but I did want to share these interesting facts about Tony that most people don't know. So here are 4 interesting facts about Tony the Tiger. We already know that Tony's voice was played by Thurl Ravenscroft, but did you know that the same actor also sang the song "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch" in How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Tony once had a family. In the 1970s, Kellogg's introduced Tony's wife, Miss Tony, their son, Tony Jr., their daughter, Antoinette, and lastly, his mom, Mama Tony. They were shown often in the 70s, but after that, we haven't seen them.
Breakfast with Kellogg Sugar Frosted Flakes cereal. The secret frosting makes it extra crunchy, extra delicious.
I know. Flakes of corn with just the right amount of frosting for kids and adults.
How did I teach you to say it?
It's great.
You may be Mr. Breakfast to the rest of the world, but you know what you are to me.
Your widow Tony.
I'm so proud of him. Sit up straight.
Tony's global. He's recognized in over 50 countries. In Mexico, he's known as Tigre Toño. In France, he's called Tony Le Tigre. And in Germany, they say Tony der Tigre. And here's the wildest fact. Tony the Tiger is actually Italian. Technically Italian-American, as Kellogg states. In Italy, he's known as Tony El Tigre. And he's just as beloved there as he is in the US. And there you have it. Tony the Tiger's incredible story from an unknown young tiger to an international star. He's faced controversies, bans, and even the sickest Twitter trolls. But through it all, he stayed true to his message of confidence, positivity, and fun. So what is your opinion of Tony the Tiger? Should we cancel him? Should we ban him like other countries? Or should we give him a pass because he's a breakfast legend and he's part of our nostalgia? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And also, if there's another cereal character or ad mascot that I should do a video on, let me know and drop it in the comments and I'll consider making a video about it. You can support this channel by subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with your friends. Thanks for watching.